Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So happy Monday. Let's talk about the massive amount of Bitcoin being withdrawn right now from the exchanges. Obviously, we had a pretty bad weekend. A lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt. A lot of FUD. So people are fearful. However, is Crypto.com okay? Yesterday, a lot of FUD about Crypto.com. So let's talk about Crypto.com. Let's talk about Bitcoin exchanges and Michael Saylor, who we haven't heard from for quite a long time. Is he ready to make a big Bitcoin purchase? Let's discuss. So good morning, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. 1 minute from opening morning bell. But let's just start out with what everyone is thinking about. Yesterday, there were a lot of people very fearful about, what? Market bell right there. A lot of people fearful about Crypto.com. Possibly, maybe something's going on, right? But the big thing was, it turned out that Crypto.com sent $400 million to Gate.io accidentally a month ago. Yes, it was a month ago, not recent, but still. It got people thinking, how can a mistake like this happen? Right? How could you accidentally send $400 million? So that doesn't sound right. So there, if you were on Twitter, you see everyone was calling for withdrawals of Crypto.com. I did a video on it. I'm like, it's better to be safe than sorry, right? But, of course, the CEO, Chris, he did an AMA, and he had to reassure people, of course, downplaying that the FTX Contagion Fears, downplaying Contagion, spreading to Crypto.com, saying that, you know what, don't worry about us. We have a tremendous, strong balance sheet. We weren't engaged with any suspicious things or risky things that caused FTX collapse, right? So we're good. You don't have to worry about us, but didn't still really address why $400 million was accidentally sent. But still, he's saying don't worry about it. So Crypto.com, for now, seems like it's okay. So I decided to make sure that they are actually okay. So we know that Chris released a proof of reserves a few days ago. This is actually now 3 days ago. And of course, this is liquid, so it could go up and down, right? But basically, looking at how much Crypto.com had 3 days ago, 53,000 Bitcoin, 391,000 ETH, overall combined about $3 billion. Of course, the $3 billion changes because crypto has been going up and down, right? But yeah, if you're looking at it, this is what I streamed about 2 days ago, showing that, yeah, it was close to about $3 billion. But what I'm more concerned about is the actual numbers, right? Not the dollar amount. Like, okay, did it go up? Did it go down, right? Obviously, with the fear, no surprise, the total assets did go down, but still looking good. They're still looking pretty healthy. 2.4 billion as of right now. Ethereum's count went down significantly to 285,000 from the original 391,000. So that's over 100,000 ETH being withdrawn. And if you look at Bitcoin, I counted, it was like 35,000-ish, right? So you had almost 20,000 Bitcoin leaving Crypto.com. But despite all of this, beside all the fears, right now it looks like they're still holding strong with whatever amount, $2.4 billion worth of crypto. But of course, this could change. We're going to have to keep a close eye on not only Crypto.com, but everyone else. Because right now, if you look, there's a massive amount of Bitcoin being withdrawn. And normally speaking, this will be a good thing, a really good thing. You want Bitcoin to be withdrawn from the exchanges. That means people are getting smarter and they're safeguarding their own crypto. That means people are just taking it off and storing it into your Ledger or Treasure or Trust Wallet or wherever other wallet they may be using off the exchanges. Normally speaking, that would be a fantastic thing, and we want to see Bitcoin and Ethereum and others being withdrawn in a massive way, I guess, massive amount off the exchanges. But right now, more so, right now is not one of those normal times because the FTX collapse and so forth. We don't want to see another bank run happen, right? But just something to pay attention to, and we all have to keep our eyes open. And again, if you're fearful, you don't trust any place that's holding your crypto, safeguard it yourself, right? It's never too late to safeguard your own crypto. Remember that. All right. Now, what else is going on? As for FTX news, it's good because we don't have more drama today. There's the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, nothing but drama. Today, I don't see anything new about the FTX collapse. Okay? SBF and two of his other former employees, one that made a lot of commits right before the hack, right? So, SBF and this other guy, Gary Wang and Nishad Singh, they're all not officially arrested, but they're under supervision because rumors are swirling that they were trying to flee to Dubai. And basically the authorities said, you're not going anywhere. So they're probably under house arrest, which isn't too bad considering they're living in a $35 million mansion. Caroline is in Hong Kong, so they don't know. No one knows if she actually made it to Dubai or she's still in Hong Kong, right? But at least the main guy, SBF, is under supervision, and it looks like they know where he is at this point. So we will see what happens as things develop. Japan, they have like a different arm. It's interesting. I was on that not live stream, but the Twitter Spaces that Mario was having. And Jesse from Kraken made this note how in Japan, if you're going to start a crypto exchange, you have to start like a whole separate entity with its own assets in case it collapses. So in this case, it actually helped FTX Japan because they say they will take all possible measures to help, and it looked like FTX Japan was operating as its own entity. So if you're in Japan, it's looking good. It's looking that you may have everything. And then also I saw this, Cross Tower revised a new offer for Voyager. Now that FTX went bankrupt, Voyager will be auctioning off their assets once again. Any suitors right now? No. No one. Binance is not coming out saying we're going to buy Voyager. No one else is coming out to say it. So I don't know if this is going to go anywhere. I guess we will see. We will see. All right. Now, on to some good news, I guess. Some positive stuff outside of this FTX drama, although there's probably a lot more coming. Someone said SBF just tweeted. We'll see. Like yesterday, he was tweeting some weird nonsense stuff. I think the pressure's getting to him. But anyways, as for good news, Michael Saylor, he's been pretty feeling the heat. Okay, he's like nearly 50% down from his average. As it's not just him. A lot of us are. But anyways, good things could be coming because remember, he announced before he was going to sell $500 million worth of stock. Why? Not because he wants to go to Disneyland. It's because he wants to buy more Bitcoin. And I guess that hasn't happened yet. We've been waiting for this. But maybe he's going to time it perfectly this time. Because all the other times when he bought, Bitcoin went down. Like every single time, besides like his very first buy. But maybe not this time. So if he sells $500 million worth of stock and he buys Bitcoin right around now, around 16,000, that would be a pretty good buy. That would probably be his second lowest buy. And it would pull his average down, right? And it's going to help everyone else while he's doing it. So this could be fantastic, something to look forward to in the near future. Also, President Bukele, even though he has also come down with a lot of heat recently because people are saying, well, you should have never bought Bitcoin in the first place and blah, blah, blah. Well, he's like, no. He's still He does not regret his decision. And he's like, FTX is exactly the opposite of Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin's protocol was created precisely to prevent Ponzi schemes, bank runs, end runs, WorldCons, Bernie Madoff, Sam Bankman-Fried. You threw SBF's name in there. Bailouts and wealth reassignments. Some understand it, some not yet. We're still early, so President Kelly not giving up as well. That's also fantastic. As for Bitcoin's price right now, we know it's lower, but many argue that this is the point of maximum opportunity right now. Just like the COVID crash when Bitcoin fell to $4,000, just like the bottom of 2018 when it fell down to $3,000, there's been certain times you can mark as maximum opportunity, and a lot of bulls think this is one of them. And why? Well, here's an example. RSI, which is a main indicator to measure oversold levels and overbought levels, it has never been as low as right now in Bitcoin's history. I would say that's a pretty good indicator, right? Also, you look at stable coins. Stable coins, there's just a ton of it. The stablecoin ratio is $1 for every 2.25 or 2.28 Bitcoin, meaning that when people want to come back in, there will be a flood of stablecoins coming back to be buying. So it's basically at a level we haven't seen before. There's just a lot of stuff going on. Oops, this is not something I want to show, but also number of addresses with at least one Bitcoin. You can see on the right-hand side, Bitcoiners are not deterred. You could see even though the price dropped down, right? It dropped down significantly. Look at the number of addresses with at least one Bitcoin. It's flying up. People are taking advantage. People know this is a great opportunity, and nothing changes from a fundamental standpoint, from a macro standpoint. People are still hating on what governments did over the last few years, still hating on inflation, hyperinflation, right? That doesn't change. The fundamentals of Bitcoin still doesn't change. There's still a set supply. There's a halving event that's coming up. And you can't inflate it. There's no monetary policy that you can apply to it, right? And there's no leadership. There's no centralized entity controlling it. It's still the most decentralized network and the most secure network on the planet. These things have not changed just because of FTX. So keep that in mind. And that is why I believe a lot of people are not deterred and they continue to hold on, continue DCA. All right. So that is pretty much it. The only other thing is if you're an Elon Twitter guy, Elon decided to buy Ad Campaign on Twitter with SpaceX. Interesting. He's testing it out according to him. Or he's so desperate because all the advertisers left Twitter that he has to buy his own ads out from one pocket into another. I don't know. You could view it however you want. All right, so as for Bitcoin, up slightly today. Last night was looking a little bit down. We dropped to like 15.8. Now we came back up to about 16.5. We were just at 17,000 a little bit ago before the market opened, and market is looking red today. Dow is even, but NASDAQ a little red, right? So I think there's still a lot of fear about FTX, the contagion that may happen. You can see front page right here about Crypto.com downplaying fears. And then, of course, there's this, right? And overall, I've been, seeing a lot of videos, a lot of interviews with like Brian Armstrong and all these guys that's in the industry. And everyone said basically the same thing I've been saying for quite some time. I just had no proof of it, and neither did they until now. Everyone's just wondering how FTX, how SBF got so much money. I've been making this case for months now. I'm like, you look at their trading volume, you compare it to the big boys like Binance and Coinbase. They didn't have enough. Their volume was lower than both of these guys. And so both of these guys already knew how much they were making, how much SBF was making, right? But yet, SBF was able to just throw money left and right everywhere. At Super Bowl ads, at stadium rights, you know, at all these celebrities, and also at Voyager and Celsius and everyone else, right? Everyone's scratching their head like, how did he get all this money? Even I saw Brian Armstrong did an interview yesterday. He said the same thing. It's like no one could figure it out. They just kind of assumed, okay, he had some magic sauce behind the scenes. I speculated he was counter trading right against the market. Now people know. He didn't have that much money. He lost a lot of money, and he was trying to make up for it, and it didn't work out. It didn't work out, right? So there you go. All right, let's do some Q&A, but before that, someone's saying that SBF did some tweet there. Let's just do FTX. Yeah, he had these tweets. I don't know what's going on here. He tweeted what? And then H. It seemed like he got cut off or they took his phone or something. I don't know what happened there. But, yeah. All right, let's do some Q&A. What's up with Avalanche? Not much right now. Not much. I mean, outside of what's going on, Avalanche is continuing forward. You know, working on their side chains, working on DeFi, working on all the stuff that I've been talking about. Josh, are you buying John Moran or Giannis right now? Neither. Card market has absolutely tanked. Absolutely tanked. The vintage cards are holding up. You know, the very super rare cards are holding up, but everything else has tanked. And I don't know if it has found bottom yet. But once it does, great opportunity to buy. Isnt FTX, we're all George. Thank you. Do you have any information on Coinbase exposure to FTX? Well, they say they have no exposure. Most exchanges should not have exposure to FTX. It's more to projects. There's a few hedge funds that said they stored all their crypto on, or half their crypto on FTX and so forth, but the other exchanges should have no reason to have their crypto on FTX. I mean, it wouldn't make sense. Like if you're Coinbase, you have your own custodian service. Why would you store any crypto on FTX? Same thing with Binance or same thing with Crypto.com. It doesn't make any sense, right? But I guess we will see. NMCT says SBF just posted. It looks like he didn't just post. This was from yesterday. Bartley says Saylor is very brave or very stupid. Well, a lot of people think the latter at this point, but you know, he's staying true to who he is. Oh, no, that's not what is, where is it? This one. He's staying true to what he is, which is a Bitcoin bull. It's too late to back out now. But, and he's been doing more interviews, more conferences where he's saying the same thing, right? Basically, this is it. This is the asset you stick with. You don't look at anything else. You know, that's the kind of conviction he has. And I'm sure he gave examples before how back in the dot-com bubble and stuff like that, people said the same thing about him when he was buying Apple shares. You know, he believed in Apple, even though they went through bankruptcy and stuff like that. He still or close to bankruptcy. He did, no, I'm sorry, yeah, close to bankruptcy. They were bailed out by Microsoft. But even then, he stuck with it, and it made him a ton of money. All right, now I caught up, I think. Is Gemini safe? I would say they're pretty safe. They're also in the US. They've been very, very quiet. Very quiet indeed. They also have their own custodian service. A lot of big institutions go to them. I think they're pretty safe. MEXC base. George, let's say the FTX contagion taught people to self-custody. With all the crypto leaving exchanges for cold wallets, isn't that bound to push the price upwards? Yes. Yes. That's why normal circumstances, I use that as an example. Bitcoin leaving exchanges, that's fantastic. That means people are buying it, storing it, and they're not going to trade it, right? So that's a good thing. As the supply diminishes over time, less and less people are going to be trading. More and more people are going to be holding. And when you have more and more people holding, with the supply still being capped and limited and getting more, the inflation rate being cut every 4 years, that's fantastic. That's what we want. And eventually, you're going to have so many people holding it and not using it. You know, that's how the price will be like $1 million someday. But you are right. You are right. All right, thanks for the super sticker. I'm not gonna mention your name. I had stocks through FTX. Got an email from FTX that I could access my position through a clearing firm, embed clearing. Yeah, I'm glad you shared that because some people have asked me about that. I know stocks in the U.S. is held by like I don't know if the clear like a clearinghouse. Or someone that's holding it. So in the U.S., the brokerages don't hold any stocks. They just help you make trades, but the stocks themselves are held by another company. So that's why if, I don't know, let's say Charles Schwab or someone goes bankrupt, you don't lose all your stock, right? But it's different with crypto exchanges. But it's good to hear that you're not going to lose your stock. Someone asking about Coca-Cola. When you transfer from a hardware wallet to and from an exchange, is there a fee? Yes, not a fee from the hardware wallet, from the chain. Chains, you have to pay a fee to conduct transactions, right? Gas fees. So yes, you do have to have a small amount in there. Otherwise, it will not send. You need to make sure you always have a small amount in there. It's a little annoying at times, but especially when it comes to staking. And I even fall for this, and a lot of people fall for this too. Like, let's say you have, I don't know, like 10 ETH on your Trust wallet. Or I don't know, you can't stake ETH directly. Let's say BNB, for example, on your Trust wallet. You have 10 BNB, you want to stake it, and you select max all, so it uses everything you have, and then it stakes it. And then you go unstake it, it's like, oops, it errors out. Why can't you unstake it? Well, it's because you don't have enough BNB in your wallet to pay for the transaction to unstake it. So you always have to make sure you have a small little amount. So that's something that you have to get used to with your own wallet. The exchanges normally, if you select all, there's a fee, but they either just subtract it off from yours, or there's no fees sometimes. So it's a little bit different. NMCT, Prop 82. I didn't see you had one other than the one from before. Oh, can you do a short video on Cosmos? 82 is insane. There's rumors of a hard fork. If it passes, it's huge. Probably not, but I'm gonna look at it, and if it's huge, I will probably cover it tonight. It's probably the one with liquid staking, right? That's the one I covered before, unless there's something new. Someone says, God, I hope Gary Gensler is safe. Safe from what? Hammers? What do you think about FTX Ukraine rumors used to launder money and going back to Democrats? I don't know about laundering money, but I think that a lot of it probably was sent to FTX. And then Sam Bankman-Fried also sent a lot to Democrats. I don't think that was done on purpose for that reason, but you can make that case. This is the bottom for Solana. Well, if this is the bottom for crypto, it's one of those, you know, we had this moment before with Luna, when Luna collapsed and Contagion was very, very, very far. And we recovered, right? So this is one of those times. We have FTX. The Contagion seems to be a lot less. So could mean that we just recover from here, and that means a bottom for Solana. Solana has been absolutely decimated recently. SJ, you know what would scare me right now? SJ's asking what would scare me. It would scare me if another major exchange went down. To be honest, I was thinking about that last night. If another major exchange went down at a bank run, right? That would cause massive fear. We don't want to see that happen. If another one happened, man, that would rock things and shake people's confidence to a point where it would take a long, long time to recover. So that's what I'm worried about right now. Hopefully we don't see another major exchange go down. Do you think I should keep my staked ETH on Coinbase or wrap it and get off to my ledger? Well, even if you wrap it, it's not going to help you. The staked ETH is still there. Once you stake ETH, you can't get it off until the beacon chain, not beacon chain, until the next upgrade. I was still thinking the beacon chain. It's already up. The next upgrade. So even if you wrap and get off, it's not going to help you. It's still there. I believe the traders have played out current metrics of the BTC chart. The charts do not lie. People do. Yes. Yes and no. But I also believe you can't believe in the charts 100% because obviously some of the stuff that we're seeing is not natural, right? Like this, right, was caused by FTX. So, you know, models, metrics, indicators work until they don't. That's what I always say. In a smooth environment, not a whole lot of external factors, sure, you could probably day trade pretty well until you can't. You play with one bad leverage, you know, play and it wipes you out. You know, when this was happening, I covered a story about a Solana long, I think, was liquidated, and it was massive. It was massive. I forgot how much it was, like 90 million or something. Maybe it was SBF's position. I don't know, but that just shows you how dangerous it is. What is overall market? Overall market is hanging right now. Jeff, appreciate it, man. One exchange, Soto Rican says, one exchange going down should not be killing crypto. It is right now, and that's because I've made this argument before, and it's still true. The space is still small and immature, okay? Even though we're at a trillion and our peak was 3 trillion, right? But this is nothing compared to everything else. You look at the total market cap of equities or bonds or gold or anything, they're at least 10 times higher, if not more, right? And plus, it's still a very unregulated space. So obviously, when there's fear, there's a lot of fear. Things could go wrong, and people sell off and blah blah. You guys know, right? But this shows you how small and early the space is. That's why we're in it. You want to be in early, but like anything, even if you were around in the 90s and 2000s and stuff like that, you saw some great companies go up and down to nearly nothing. I lived through that. After the dot-com bubble, no one wanted to touch tech for a decade. You could have bought Apple and Microsoft and all these, Amazon. You could have bought them pennies on a dollar. But no one wanted to touch them with a 10-foot pole after the dot-com bubble. But those that did, well, they're like Michael Saylors of today. So that's why we're in it. But, while we're in it, there's going to be some scary times. Are you concerned that regulators could really destroy the crypto ecosystem? I don't know. Yes and no. I still think that we have some people that have converted and truly understand. We have some friends, just a little bit, some friends. But also, I still think a lot of them can't get their heads wrapped around crypto and stuff like that. And there's more pressing matters at this point. There's still a lot of stuff to worry about with the war, with inflation, with supply chain, all that stuff. So I think regulations are going to come. I think some of it could be good. But in terms of like just so much regulation to kill crypto, I don't think it's going to happen. And even if it does in the US, let's say it just becomes so restrictive and innovation disappears. That just means projects will move to other countries that won't be so restrictive. The crypto industry is not going to die just from one country, okay? So I think about it, I think more is coming, but I don't think it's going to just kill everything. Who knows what's going to happen with Gary Gensler, though? This connection with SBF, with Caroline, even Congress people are calling it out, right? He's in some hot waters right now. He's in some hot waters. I wonder if Gary Gensler is going to be forced to resign. Maybe. So I'm waiting to see what happens with him. Little was on a list of investments in a mess. Are they safe? Well, Little is a DEX, really. And they do support Solana. So I think that's why FTX was involved. But as long as they don't hold too many FTT tokens, it should be fine. See, they're like a DeFi that's kind of spread around several chains. They got Ethereum, Solana, Polygon, Polkadot, Kusama. So because of the Solana, I'm sure FTX somehow, invested in them or staked a lot of FTT or something like that. I don't know. There could be some exposure, but I think they could be okay. It seems like it's more like Solana. So it's not like anything to do with FTT, but maybe they put down some FTT or their own Solana in here. I don't know what they really did. I think they should be okay. This is primarily because they're a DEX. Josh, are you familiar with Media, Muse, and why the jump in price? No. No, no, I don't. Nessie, no. See, it's people need to understand that something like Trust Wallet, even though Binance bought them out years ago, but if it goes under, you still have the recovery phrase. So with that, you could derive the private key. So look it up. Look it up. You know, the recovery phrase is nothing but just like a encrypted way to safeguard your private key. And with it, you can uncrack it and access it with another app. But it's the same thing with Coinbase Wallet, which is owned by Coinbase, obviously, but it's also non-custodial, and you have access to your private keys through the recovery phrase. So with those, you're fine. Even if the underlying like company goes down, they will still be there and be fine. It's the same thing with a ledger, right? People ask about the same thing with Ledger. What if Ledger goes down? Ledger Live goes down, and you have all the crypto on Ledger. What are you gonna do? It's the same thing. So the process, I think, is a little. I don't know how. I've looked it up before, and there's websites that help you to do it, but I've never try to do it because the hardware makers and mobile wallet makers out there that I use are pretty well known, and nothing has ever happened to them before. But the whole point of the recovery phrase is that basically it's derived from your private key, so you could recover that and use it anywhere. And even if, let's say, Ledger goes under, you're okay. You're not just going to lose all your crypto. And even if you destroy the device and you lose the device, it gets stolen or whatever, but still, you can recover with the recovery phrase too. That's the whole point of it. All right, guys. I'll let you go. SBF was a billionaire, and hooking up with Caroline. Who knows if that's rumor or true, or the whole gang was in on it. I don't know. There's a lot of rumors. All right, guys. We don't have that much FTX drama today, so that's good. Is Crypto.com safe? Right now, it does seem like it, but you know what? Right now, better to be safe than sorry. There's massive amount of Bitcoin leaving the exchanges. So if you feel uncomfortable, hey, you take control of your own crypto, put it on a wallet you control, right? But right now, it seems like the contagion has stopped. Everyone's still talking about FTX, but we haven't seen it spread anywhere else, and that's fantastic. We don't want to see it spread anywhere else. And we'll see. We'll see what happens. So smash the like, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys tonight, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.